Welcome back to the channel, Warhammer Man Studios. I'm Warhammer Man, and today we're taking a look at the ADEPTUS Mechanicus Warhammer 40,000 Christmas box set, the Elimination Maniple. And if you haven't taken a look already, we did a breakdown for the pricing for each of the boxes, what kind of value you get, discounts over MSRP. And then also we've done a breakdown similar to this for many of the other boxes as well, showing off points and what you could take it as detachment wise and what would be a good place to build off of. And that's exactly what we're going to do in this video. So we're going to take a look at this box set. We're going to take a look at the combat patrol, see if they match up well, how many points you would have with either or both, and then exactly where you'd want to go from there. So if you do enjoy today's video, if you find some value in it, make sure to like and subscribe. Really helps out the channel. We do daily videos, reactions, reviews, news, painting, modeling, conversion tutorials for Warhammer 40,000, Guild Team, Necromunda, Age of Sigmar, warcry, some Horus Heresy, pretty much any of the tabletop Games Workshop war games. Alright, so just taking a look at this box set here. We know it's coming here for Christmas very soon. We have Belisarius Cawl in the middle. He's a warlord. And then we have a cybernetic data smith between the two robots. Two of the Kastelan Robots. We have the potential to build either 6 Kataphron destroyers or 6 Kataphron breachers, or 3 of each. And then we also have either 10 rangers or vanguard. Again, you have the option to build either one. So let's take a closer look. Alright, so Belisarius Cawl is going to be the warlord. He is an HQ and very good at that. He is a special character though, so it is 1 per army and 180 points for Belisarius Cawl. He is dedicated specifically to Mars, so depending on what forgeworld you're planning to play, he could be an auto-include or something that you never would have considered, but it is important to know that he does have Mars keywords. So next we have the cybernetic data smith. He's between the 2 robots up there in the corner, and he does allow you to change their protocols and do some other cool stuff. He also has access to holy orders and some potential upgrades. He has 40 points and an elite slot, and then you can spend up to another 40 points on the holy orders to give like various buffs and stuff. Next we have the destroyers and the breachers. So the kit is a dual kit. Obviously we see 3 and 3 of those. You can build 3 of the destroyers and they'll have your long range fire support, primarily guns. They do have access to some potential upgrades as far as plasma instead of the grav or flamers. And then you also have your choice for the breachers, and the breachers have decent shooting still, but they also have some combat weapons as well, and then they have the potential for upgrade to arc weapons or torsion. While not necessarily sure I would go with those upgrades. So if you have the ability, and you do, to build all 6 of these models however you want, you could do various combinations. They are 3 minimum in a squad, so you could build 1 squad of 6 or 2 squads of 3. You could build all destroyers, all breachers, or a combination. But in the end, you're looking at roughly 120 to 165 for the destroyers, or 105 to 135 for the breachers. So if you're trying to go super cheap, you could build 2 squads of 3 breachers. If you want to go, super strong, you could go up to the top end if you're trying to spend as many points as you could and do 2 squads of destroyers with full upgrades. So either way, you have a lot of flexibility there. So you could basically have a minimum of 210 points from those 6 models. You could have a maximum of 330 points from those models. And then next we have our Rangers or Vanguard. So the Skitarii Rangers and Vanguard down here, we do have 10 of those, including a squad leader. You have access to them as basically just your regular troops. So now you have 3 troop choices, which is cool. Or you could potentially put all the breachers / destroyers together and have that just be one. But you do have a lot of variability you can do here. You can also break down the Ranger or Vanguard squads into 5-man unit. You don't technically have the bits to do a second squad leader, but you could easily use some of the extra bits that come in the set to make it clear. That being said, if you have a 10-man squad, you have access to special weapons on your leader and then a bunch of other special weapons for the squad. If you build smaller squads, it is limited. But for the 10-man squad, you could take an arc rifle, a plasma, and a trans arquebus. And then for the leader, you could take one of the cool pistols and then either a power weapon or some other close combat weapon. So again, there's quite a bit of upgrades you can spend on this squad, including some other ones not listed here. And it's going to run you roughly 90 points on the minimum side to 155 points on the maximum side. So you do have quite a bit of variability there, which is nice if you're trying to go for a certain points level. And then finally, we have our 2 Kastelan Robots. They have the ability to be equipped for specifically shooting, specifically combat, or some kind of combination of those things. They are very strong. They have some cool little abilities that correspond with them. 180 points for them to 200. So a little bit of variability. When it's all said and done, though, you have a ton of variability in the points for the actual army to either make it bigger or smaller, depending on what size game you're trying to play. So total points, if we add all that up, we have on the minimum side around 715 points. On the maximum side, we have about 1,015 points. So you can make it up to 1,000 points without anything else in this army, or you could trim it down as low as, 750. So pretty cool, nice variability here. It is obviously focused on Mars, as we had discussed, but you could play a different Forge World if you wanted. Unfortunately, there is only one HQ. Cawl is the only HQ in the set, so you don't have enough to build a battalion. You can only build a patrol. So with the patrol, you have one HQ and one troop, and then some other options available to you. With the battalion, you do need a second HQ. So the first thing I would get will be a second HQ. That way you can go up to the battalion, and that's going to really help you out. So multiple boxes of this. Would you want 2 boxes? Well, the only thing that you wouldn't necessarily want multiples of is Belisarius Cawl. Most people don't take a ton of the destroyers or breachers just because they're a little on the pricey side for what they do, and they're not super durable. So you typically see not many of them, or so that could kind of go either way. 2 squads of them, 6 total, is already kind of enough. At best, you'd maybe want like 3 to 6 more, but you typically don't see that many in an army. So multiple boxes, you would have double up on the robots. You probably wouldn't want another data smith. You would have double up on the destroyers and breachers, which is already kind of a lot. You would be doubled up on Cawl that you wouldn't want, and then you would be doubled up on the Vanguard or Rangers, which is probably good. So you could do multiple boxes, but I would say probably no. I think you're better off going with the Combat Patrol. So for me, this box, the Christmas box, plus the Combat Patrol is really, really good. It does have a little bit of redundancy, but you're not going to run into as much, and it also has some variability. So let's take a look at that. All right, so here we have the Adeptus Mechanicus Combat Patrol, and we'll see it does still have 3 of the destroyers / breachers in it. It does have 10 of the Vanguard or Rangers, and then it also comes with another HQ, the Tech Priest Engine Seer. Again, he has access to Holy Orders, so he's like 55 to 100 points there. And then the Onager Crawler is pretty strong and a cool model. It's about 120 points and gives some nice buffs to your army, also some nice power, and has a few different options for weapons as well. So you can really fill the gap with this. I think I would rather have this set rather than have another of the box set. So we just flip back over here and we can see the Combat Patrol is 365 to 535 points. So if we did one of those plus this box set, we come out to 1,080 points to 1,550 points. So pretty cool. You actually would have to pull something out of here if you wanted to play a 1,000-point game, and you're almost to 2,000. You now have a second HQ because of your priest, and that's going to give you the ability to take a battalion detachment. And overall, I think you would have a strong starting army there. And then if you were going to go ahead and expand it out to the full 2,000 points or wanted to add some things in, I would consider another HQ. Probably the Marshal is somebody I would look at. He has some cool buffs for your army. Pretty much any of the Tech Priests, there's a couple different options available to you, are nice choices depending on what you're going for. I think with the Army box set and also the Combat Patrol, you're going to run into a lack of close combat fighters. So you want to take something strong that can really help out the army, bolster it. The Infiltrators or Rust Stalkers are an excellent choice for that. That would be probably my first choice. After that, you have access to the Dragoons or Ballistari, depending if you want some more fast, hard-hitting combat stuff, or if you wanted some nice, fast shooting. I would say that would be a nice addition. Probably the Ballistari would pair well with what we have here. And then finally, maybe a Doom Rider or Disintegrator, Transport, or Artillery piece. They're pretty cool. Obviously, Transport is useful. And then, of course, Artillery is really nice as well, especially because they have the ability to dig stuff out that you can't see. So indirect fire is very strong, and in many cases, one of the weaknesses. So definitely consider that. And then finally, a flyer. Flyer is really good as well because you can zip across the board and have that round of shooting against something that you can't see. So again, really good for digging out those targets. So there's a lot of different ways you could take this set. Having a combined set is definitely the way to go, in my opinion. Although I wouldn't completely rule out multiple boxes. It's just going to be a little too redundant. I would rather get the combat patrol and then for the extra $50, buy a second set of robots or one of the other units we discussed. I think that's going to give you a better overall army. And then expanding onto it, you can go a ton of different ways. You can alter it quite a bit. But I think when it's all said and done, this is a nice, solid army for Adeptus Mechanicus, a good place to start, and you're not going to find too much redundancy and too many pieces that you wish you wouldn't have purchased. It really gives you the ability to expand in a lot of different ways. You can go super heavy on combat from what you have. You could add in a couple more cool characters or some long-range shooting. Really have the ability to tailor this army to whatever you're looking for. So if you did enjoy today's video, consider checking out some of the others with similar breakdowns like points in this video, or also we did a big one where it went through all the boxes and broke down the prices, MSRP, and savings for Warhammer 40k as well as fantasy. We do daily videos. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure to like and subscribe. We do everything from Warhammer 40,000, Kill Team Necromunda, Age of Sigmar, warcry, and Horus Heresy, reactions, reviews, and news, painting, modeling, conversion, tutorials. But that's it for today. Let me know what you think. What would you expand this army with? Was this video helpful? Would you enjoy seeing some more videos like this? And that's it. Warhammer Man Studios. I'm Warhammer Man, and I'm out of here.